Hey guys, First Regardsman here, and today I'll be talking about a last Fusil build for the Sniper class for both Operations and Siege mode in patch 8.0 Space Marine 2. Now the last Fusil is one of the most popular weapons in this game. It was also one of the most broken on launch, however it's not quite as strong as it used to be, mainly because there are simply so many enemies now in Siege mode, and perks like Tactical Ambush are significantly better now than the Targeted Shot perk, and the Block Knife is now your main form of boss damage on this class overall. So a weapon like the last Fusil that really needs the Targeted Shot to like work at peak efficiency has simply fallen off compared to the Bolt Carbine and Stalker Bolt Rifle. That being said, it is still very strong, still very fun to use, and viable for all content. And the variant we have chosen here is the magazine capacity variant, mainly because without this, you will run into ammo problems on the rate of fire version, and even this one on the firepower variant if you ever want to actually use this. But this one kind of sucks. I would definitely take the rate of fire variant if you don't want to take this one, but you will run into ammo issues because the way you get ammo back on the Sniper class is with your Versatile Precision perk, which is performing a kill with your secondary weapon restores 15% of your primary weapon's ammo. Cooldown is 15 seconds, so since this is percentage based, you will get more ammo back off of that if you have like a larger magazine capacity. Pretty simple, so that's why we take this. And for the actual perk tree on the last Fusil weapon here, we do go into Perpetual Velocity first. Shots charge 15% faster. This is pretty much mandatory as far as I'm concerned because our rate of fire is already abysmal, and shot charge speed is very, very important on this weapon. And then we go into Adamant Velocity. When your health is below 30%, shots charge 25% faster. This perk is amazing. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually proc that often because you're at full HP on this class for most of the game because of perks like Purification or Vanguard's Healing Team perk. So that's just like a negative synergy there, but you know, overall this perk is still amazing. And then we go into Headhunter here, which is 10% more headshot damage, pretty self-explanatory. Then we go into Beam Radius, and then we go into Great Might for 10% against Terminus, and then take the Divine Might here for a flat 10% damage increase. And then we go into Brutal Rampage, which is after killing 3 enemies or more with one shot, you deal 25% more damage for 5 seconds. This perk is actually pretty amazing, mainly because there is no cooldown, and 25% is a very chunky damage increase. I will say though, if you don't want to have this perk, or you don't want to have the Beam Radius, you can build it up here into Perpetual Velocity, and then the Charging Immunity for more charge speed, which is really, really good for you. But unfortunately, if you go that way, you cannot go into Brutal Rampage. You do miss out on this amazing perk. You need to go and take Rapid Health, or excuse me, Instant Health instead, which is not that bad, but again, Purification on this class is more than enough healing than you'll ever need. Same reason we don't take Recoupment here for Armor Restore, so that's why I chose to go this way this time. But if you want to take the charge speed, you certainly can. Now, next perk we take is Increased Capacity, just a 20% increase to our ammo reserves. This is really good for the same reason the magazine capacity variant is good, because it makes our Versatile Precision triggers significantly better. Now, next perk here is just Headhunter for 10% more damage. Alternatively, you could take another increase in capacity, but really, I think this is more than enough to have more than enough ammo for the rest of the game, so I don't really do that. As for our secondary weapon, we do take the Heavy Bolt Pistol here because this is the best secondary on the Sniper class, and we take the Ammo Reserve and Magazine Capacity variant because this gives us the most opportunities to actually trigger our Versatile Precision and also our Pattern of Excellence perk. Now, as far as the perk tree goes, we pretty much just go into all headshot damage, pretty self-explanatory, and some people like the Inferno Pistol, but like really this weapon kind of sucks on the Sniper because you don't really have any problems with Minora's packs once you actually know how to use your Purification and manage your cloak properly, and this also makes it significantly harder to get back your Pattern of Excellence from Melta Bombs. Now, as for the melee weapon, we just take a Block Combat Knife on the Relic tier. This is the best weapon on the Sniper class currently, mainly because its boss damage is ridiculous, and it's also just a very damaging weapon in general. We just go down the bottom perk tree, take Perpetual Strength here, and this is the most important perk with Shadow Stab. Shadow Stab is the best boss damage on this class. It's almost like mandatory at times if you're going to properly carry some of the boss fights in this game, and that's why we take the Terminus Slayer here. And if you want to take the Shoulder Bash instead of the Perpetual Strength here, you can. I decided to take this today for more damage. As for our class perk tree setup, we do take Melee Mastery. Melee damage increases by 20% against Majoris level and higher enemies. Melee damage on this class is just absurd, and this perk makes it that much better. And these other two really are not that worthwhile. Like, block breaking isn't terrible, it's just not as good as this. Next perk here is Adaptability. Reloading while having low ammo or manually activating Camo Cloak increases melee damage by 25% for 10 seconds. Again, more melee damage is amazing, and 10 seconds is a huge uptime. Some people like Vantage Point. Remaining stationary for 2 seconds increases your ranged weapons damage by 20%, but if you are properly playing the Sniper, you're just not going to be standing still that much, and this perk is just not that good at all. Next perk here is Lethal Efficiency, killing more than one enemy with one shot from a last few silver sources charged by one. Pretty much a no-brainer because this is the only perk that functions in this tree of the last Fusil. And then the team perk here is again a no-brainer, Squad Renewal, a headshot kill restores ability charged by 10% for any squad member. This perk is just mandatory in the team perk tree. These other two are so ass, especially if you're taking Purification, which like really you almost always will be, because Purification is like the best perk in this entire tree. At least we're going to combine with this. Now, Purification says manually activating Camo Cloak removes negative stats effects and restores all contested health. And this perk just takes a sniper and puts him up a tier. He goes from like A to S, and he is just incredible at surviving with this perk. And when you combine this perk with Emperor's Grace as the prestige perk, when Camo Cloak activates, you become invulnerable to damage for 2 seconds. Not only do you guarantee your contested health recovery, you also get no knockback, because the 2 seconds of invulnerability here, they make you like immune to all stagger. It's kind of OP, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fucking broken. It makes your Shadow Stab super useful. Like, you can just cloak, get all your HP back, you can be sitting in like 2 Hellbrutes or swinging wildly, and just charge a free Shadow Stab with your Tactical Ambush perk, which is the first melee attack that breaks Camo Cloak, deals 150% more damage. This perk is amazing. It is significantly better than Targeted Shot, even when we are using the last Fusil here. Targeted Shot has really fallen off quite a bit, and even when you do want to use this, it's not like the worst thing ever, I'll be honest. Like, you can still use this if you want. Tactical Ambush is just so much better, and the Block Knife is just so much better than the other options right now in this class, and it's like, without this perk, you are missing out on so much potential boss damage, so much damage that you could just be doing to like multiple Extremis packs at times. It's just an incredible perk, and Shadow Stab is really just that strong in the game currently. And Targeted Shot, you know, you can use this if you want. I will say that if you really want to use Targeted Shot, you can. You will hit some breakpoints and headshot guys and one-tap some dudes, but one-tapping the occasional guy off a Camo Cloak break is just not as valuable as like a triple boss massive melee hit, or like Extremis packs, or just general damage overall. Now, as far as persistence goes here, when Camo Cloak deactivates, you take 20% less health damage and do lose control upon taking heavy hits and cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. This perk is very good. Losing or taking 20% less health damage is amazing, and having no knockback for what effectively comes out to 8 seconds with Emperor's Grace is incredible. There's no other no knockback perk effect in this game for this class except for Indomitable Spirit, so this is epic for us. Outside of like our weapon perks, there are some other no knockback perk stuff there that I forgot to mention, but overall, no knockback. Having a flat no knockback for 10 seconds on this class is epic. That's why we take this. And Lingering Concealment is just not that good of a perk anymore, especially with the Emperor's Grace Purification combo. And this perk is like straight up ass. And the signature perks here, after a perfectly timed dodge, Camo Cloak automatically activates without spending a charge for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 30 seconds. This is dog shit. This perk here, Emergency Override, when you receive lethal damage, Camo Cloak automatically activates without spending charge, and you become invulnerable for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 180 seconds. This is also pretty dog shit because 180 seconds is forever, on top of the fact that Purification keeps you alive significantly more anyways. And you know what's really going to keep you alive is like one of the best perks in this whole game, Pattern of Excellence. Performing 3 consecutive headshots restores equipment charged by 1. Cooldown is 30 seconds. This is like mandatory for a proper sniper build in this game. It's kind of unfortunate how powerful this perk actually is in comparison to like 90% of the tree, mainly because having Melt-A-Bombs, that is your horde clear for this class. Like 30-second Melt-A-Bombs, that is simply the loop of the sniper. That is simply his meta. That's just how he's played currently. I think he should get these other two reworked or like significantly buffed, because he shouldn't just be like the Melta Andy, but that is unfortunately like what his horde clear options are, because the last Fusil's horde clear just is not good enough, and really nothing is, and like this is most of his Nova damage outside of like a Tactical Ambush and Targeted Shot. As far as the prestige perks go, when Camo Cloak activates, you become invulnerable to damage for 2 seconds. This perk is god tier, like I said before, with Purification, so this is why we take that. And then we take Versatile Precision for the same reasons I mentioned before. And then we take Indomitable Spirit. While performing a gun strike, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. This perk is amazing for letting you gun strike where otherwise you'd be unable to, especially against Biovores that are face checking you, because Biovores in this game will just knock you around, even if they have like an active gun strike on them. They are so obnoxious, and it's like the only way to actually gunstrike them at times. Very irritating, but that's why this perk is amazing, on top of being able to gunstrike everything else. And then the final perk here is Conviction. When your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less health damage for 15 seconds. 15 seconds is an eternity in this game. This is the longest uptime of this perk effect for any class in the game. All the other ones are 10 seconds. 25% less health damage is incredibly chunky. This will combine with Persistence for like a 45% reduction. This will keep you from getting one shot if you ever run out of Purification for whatever reason, and will save your life in most cases. Goated perk, probably like an S tier perk, to be honest. And that's pretty much all there is for this build. So now it's time to go into the actual gameplay. I'll see you there in a sec.
Get rid of the boss spawn in a second, but I'm not too worried about the bosses for this. Just here it is.
Stealth ready. There is a little sniffing around. I am a phantom of death. I have eyes on a fireball. Meteor line cloak ready.
I just realized they don't have a Terminator spawn at the buy screen. How are they going to give Dreadnought but not Terminators? Because Dreadnought's already in the game. They can recycle the asset is the answer. And they have to make anything new. That's the real answer. That's why they did it. A serious threat. How serious could it really be, though? Guess I'll take frag grenades. No, that's fine. I wasn't going for him. We got it. Alright, I can get everything in a second here.
They shall not see.
There we go. I gotta get my teammate up here if I can. I'll jump off the edge. Pretty easy way to go grab him. But go over here. I kind of want the increased charge rate still, though. Oh, we got up. All right, I was coming for him, but let's use the relic.
Active camouflage charge. Unseen ice quite high.
Oh, I can't shoot through all that. Oh, Melta Bomb, my beloved. You've been hiding from me this whole time. Now we're online.
They shall not. Meteor line ready.
I get rid of these snipers because they're going to be a lot more irritating for our teams than most things. Same with these guys. Alright, let's go over there. Help out.
Alien bioform.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That was almost bad. We almost got grabbed.
I'm gonna get hit.
I'm getting comboed. Not like this. Oh god, this class is goated.
Inserting fresh magazine.
Alright, well,
Melter installation done. Fester and rot. Seed of the filthy bugger.
alright, we will go get him up.
Prioritize the more
Right
serious
now.
threats. Brothers record no deaths.
There we go. Got him right before he shot us in the face. What Guardsman, brother? I only see Horus. True. Waiting for Orcs expansion, dude. If they make Caboose, if they make an Orcs expansion, if they actually, if their continued support is a proper new faction in this game, because I guarantee you, like their initial plan was not to have this game be supported for 2 years. That was only after the game was massively successful, and they had the option to do that. And like Games Workshop was like, hey, you're our workforce now. You are our forced labor. Go make it. Go make new game. You're our new favorite dev team because you made a game we like.
Excellent.
Remember what happened at Creative Assembly? Remember when they used to make historical games? What the fuck happened to that? They dropped 3 Kingdoms. Because Warhammer encompasses all eventually. All things will be consumed by the warp.
Defensive objective. Protect the control room. Understood. Tracking our foes now.
Yeah, I still think this is a pretty top tier pick for Siege mode. Definitely a little worse than the Stalker Bull Rifle might be, but if you take the ammo capacity variant,